Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Orchid MTG, and today we're doing a little, we're gonna look through my graded cards, the ones I already have. Um, so, I guess let's get right into it. So the first card, we have this, I got a couple PSA ones right here, but then the rest are all BGS. So, I have a Portal 3 Kingdoms Plains. It's a mint 9. It's okay. Um, it's pretty nice, actually. So this might be a candidate for breaking out and then sending to BGS eventually, but I'm not really worried about it right now. So just get into the next one. Give you a good look at it real quick. Sorry, the glare from my ceiling light is, you know. Also, for Portal 3 Kingdoms, I bought an art commission from one of the artists. So I'm hoping to have that in soon. Anyway, next we're going to jump to Antiquities before we go back to Portal 3 Kingdoms, just because I want to keep all the PSA cards together. So I have an Argothian Treefolk. It's just a common. I'm pretty sure it's just a common, and it's another mint 9. The case is a little scratched up. It's not the card. Yeah, not the best case, but it's not really worth getting it recased. Oh, okay. Now we go to the dark a little bit. So I got a Holy Light from the dark. It's another mint 9. Again, just common, nothing crazy. Next card. This is my best card from the dark so far. I haven't really gone too crazy into getting things from the dark yet. This is a Grave Robbers. It's an 8. But I like this card because it's on the reserved list, and it's always nice to have reserved list cards. So let's take a good look at it. Trying to get it where there's no glare. Really nice card. I wish it was a 9, but oh well. Then we go to Goblin Digging Team. Another 9. I don't really have any PSA 10s. I don't really worry about it that much. I don't really want to pay, double the price of a 9 just for the 10. So we got a Morale from the dark. It's not bad. Most of these, if I ever care enough, I'll break them out and send them to BGS, but I mean, these cards aren't really worth anything. I could just buy a couple near mint copies and then, send them in myself and keep these. Oh, sorry. Hit the camera a little bit. Anyway, now we're all onto BGS. So this is my most recent card. It's an Antiquities Power Artifact. It's a basic 9, but it's got a 9.5 centering, which is pretty nice. Now, this was an interesting one. It shows up way better on camera than it does in real life, but there's a lot of edge wear that they just missed. And they gave the edges a 9. I mean, it's a pretty weak 9, in my opinion. So, oh well, it's no big deal. Then we go back to Portal 3 Kingdoms. Sunsea Young Conqueror. This is a nice one. This is a 9 quad plus plus. It's pretty nice. Definitely worth keeping. It's one of those cards I'm just going to keep forever, probably. I'm working on a Portal 3 Kingdom set. I'm working on a set of everything. Right now, my biggest concern is Arabian Nights. But I have a Desperate Charge. This is a basic 9/5 from Portal 3 Kingdoms. It's an uncommon. Again, a lot of the stuff you see, especially on things like a 9/5, are going to be from the case. Like if you see any scratches or anything, it's probably going to be the case, not the card. And then we have a different Plains from Portal 3 Kingdoms. This one is a basic 9/5, but it's got a 10 surface, which is pretty nice. Again, you can see that scratch on the case. So they didn't see anything wrong with the surface. Now, I have 2 alpha cards. Only 2, and they're not high. They're just 8s. So I have this 8 quad plus plus alpha Psychic Venom. One of my favorite cards. I love Psychic Venom. I think the artwork's awesome. I like the card a lot. But I have a beta one, and it's got the silver label, which I like a little bit more than the plain white basic label. So, um, you know, I'm willing to trade something like that or something like this Alpha Sea Serpent. Definitely willing to trade this, especially if it gets me closer to my Arabian Nights set. So another quad plus 8. Ooh, yeah, I gotta clean this case, I guess. But either way. Now we go into beta, and we start off with my favorite card from, well, not my favorite card from beta, but my favorite card that I own that is beta. This Demonic Attorney. It's an 8. It's got a 7.5 edges, which, you know, on camera they don't show up that well. This is probably the biggest right here. It's probably the biggest offender of it. Honestly, I'm surprised this couldn't get an 8 edges, but either way, the grade wouldn't change. So, actually, nah, the grade probably wouldn't change. So, either way, no big deal. Love the card, though. Then we have a beta life tap. This is my only other 8 beta, or lower than an 8. It's got a 9.5 corners, 9 edges, but then an 8 on the surface and the centering. So again, quad plus, or if you want to consider it plus because it's a 9.5 instead of just a 9. But either way. Then we go on to Animate Artifact. This is the first graded card I got in Magic. Well, I got a bunch at the same day, but this was the first one. I was a PWCC auction, and obviously A is the first letter of the alphabet, and that's how they list things. So that was one of the first ones I got. So it's not bad. It's a basic, but it's got really good subgrades, you know, other than the centering. And centering isn't something that I care that much about. I mean, it's still a gorgeous card. I mean, look at these subgrades. It's a gorgeous card. It's got a 9.5 surface and a 9 on the corners and edges. The only thing wrong is that it's, you know, off center a little bit, which is fine because, you know, that's out of someone's control. That means whoever graded this kept good care of it, and, you know, that's all that matters. Then we have a jump, if it would focus. Oh, I guess it's not going to focus. Oh, there we go. So it's a jump. It's an 8.5. It's got an 8 on the edges. Just let me see if I can figure out why. These are really nice edges, actually. The only thing I really see is like here. It's a little bit there. But I don't know if that should bring it all the way down to an 8. Either way, it's got a 9 at least on everything else, so that should be a 9, I think. But either way, now we got the Beta Psychic Venom. Another, again, love the card. I have the Alpha, the Beta. I'm willing to trade both my Alphas because I like Beta more. Well, no, that's not necessarily true. I like Alpha more, but I'm a little priced out of Alpha. I got into the game really late, all things considered, so things like Alpha are a bit out of my price range. We have a Beta Death Grip. It's not bad. I haven't been showing the back, actually. Holy cow. Really nice card. I like Death Grip. This is one of the first cards I got as well. Okay. Circle of Protection Green. I always like the Circle of Protections. I don't know why. I like how there's 5 of them, and I can get all 5. And, you know, I like things like that where I can display them and be like, I have all 5 of these. So here's a Burrowing. This is a 9. Yeah, it's a basic 9, but it's got a 9.5 surface, but an 8.5 corners. Let me see if I can see the corners real quick. Yeah. So down there, if it'll focus, you can see that corner's got some white on it. It's a little bit of wear. Not too bad, though. It probably deserves the grade it got. I keep hitting the camera. Anyway, Glasses of Urza, another one of the first cards I got. It's a quad plus 8.5. Love this card. Love the artwork. I think it looks great with the black border. I saw a summer edition Glasses of Urza, and for some reason, I don't love that card, even though I love the artwork of this. I saw summer edition though, and I just couldn't fall in love with it the way I did. So we're getting on to one of my favorite cards that I have. Beta Giant Spider. It's an 8.5 quad plus plus, and you could even go as far as another 2 pluses because they're both 8 point or 9.5 in the subgrades. I don't really do it. I just say quad plus plus, but I know some people do that. This is a really nice card. And because I like Giant Spider so much, I got a 9.5 revised one. I got this for super cheap. And I just like the artwork. Love it. Okay. Now, this is the stack that I care about the most. Arabian Nights, okay. So, we have an Army of Allah, light, 1. So, this is the light version. If you don't know, Arabian Nights has a light and a dark version. I'll point that out when I get to it. But this is a light one. It's an 8.5. It's not bad. Anything over an 8.5, I'm happy with. It could go in my set. We have a dark Wailuli Wolf. So here's a dark symbol. You see, if you can see the difference. I have cards that have the same symbol. Or like the same card, just the dark and the light version. But here's the dark one. Here's the light one. It's a 9. It's a nice 9 too. It's a quad plus plus 9. So happy to have it. The light version is way harder to get in a high grade though. I don't know why, but it is. Probably because it's a little bit rarer. We have Giant Tortoise, another 9. It's just a nice card. I need the light version of this. Have a War Elephant. I think I picked this up for really cheap. I need a light version of this as well. If it'll focus. That's a little focused. Nice card though. Trying to give myself some more room here. So here's a Metamorphosis. This is the last card that this is only one. Like there's only a this version. There's not a light and a dark. So it's another 9. It's a nice card. I like Metamorphosis. The art's pretty funny. It's just so like, it's just such like an outrageous artwork, you know? It's really nice. Now to my favorite artwork, or not my favorite, but one of my favorite. I have the dark and the light version of Bird Maiden, both 9. This one, the light version, which is actually generally light versions are harder to find, is a quad plus plus with a 10 surface. And then the dark version over here is a basic, but it also is a plus plus basic. So love this card, love the artwork. It's just gorgeous. Happy to have it. Then this, I have a dark and a light version of Oubliette as well, which is one of those cards that people are begging for a reprint of, but it just hasn't come yet. So we have an 8.5 on the dark and then a 9 on the light. It's a basic 9, basic 8.5. Really nice cards. Now we get into some reserve list stuff. So we have Sandals of Abdallah. It's a nice 8.5. Basic plus plus. Really nice. It's a really cheap. It's a cheap reserve list card from Arabian Nights. I think you can maybe get them on TCG Player for like $5. Maybe $5-10, something like that, somewhere in between maybe. I don't need another one, so that's all for you guys. I have a quad plus 9 merchant ship, really nice. Got this for a steal. I think like $30 or something. Really nice. Then this Pyramids has a funny story to it. So it's a quad plus Pyramids. It's got the 3 8 8 5s and then the 1 9. And the funny story about this is I was working and I had made a deal with a guy to buy most of these cards, actually, a lot of these cards. A lot of the cards that are coming up in the next little bit. And what happened was this was like a $40 card, right? This one in my hand. I think it was like $40 maybe. And literally the day I was waiting for my paycheck. And on the day of my paycheck, I was going to message the guy and give him the money, and then he'd give me the cards. And the day of the paycheck, or the day before I get paid and was supposed to message the guy, someone bought out like every pyramids that they could find on the internet. So what happened was, now I'm spending like $100 on this card instead of 40. And it went back down, but I was nervous that there was going to be someone, like, I was nervous that that person had a lot of money and they could afford to buy every single one that comes up, and it would just skyrocket. So I just went for it. So I took a little bit of a loss, but I'm not really worried about it. Anyway, here's a Ring of Maruf. It's a Quad Plus Plus 8.5. Really nice. Another reserve list. Everything, I'm pretty sure everything from now on is reserve list. And it's only a couple more cards, so. Really nice. Take a shot every time I say really nice. Anyway, here's a Cabal Ghoul. It's a basic, but it's got 2 9s, so it's pretty nice. I like Cabal Ghoul. I'm actually watching one on eBay right now, a raw one. And I'm not sure if I'm going to buy it, but it's a nice card. I like the art. It's just so simple. It's just a skull. Basically, it's just a skull with like some arms and a torso, I guess. Then, one of my favorite cards. I almost didn't buy this card. But my friend, every time I see this card in like a video or something, I always talk about how much I love it. And my friend like didn't let me not buy this card. He's like, you always talk about that card, you gotta buy it. So here it is. It's Quad Plus Plus 8.5 Old Man of the Sea. I just love the artwork. It's just so cool. And it's got an interesting effect too if you want to pause and read it. Which is probably why it's on the reserve list. Because they don't want to print weird, crazy effects like game-breaking stuff. Here's an Island of Wak Wak. This is a pretty nice one. It's a basic, but it's got 2 9/5s. Again, another artwork I really like for some reason. His face looks a little weird, but it's just so nice. Again, scratches on the case, not the card. Alright, and the last card of this video is Shahrazad. It's only an 8, which means I'm on the fence about it. I'm on the fence of whether I want to let this be the only non-silver or above label in my collection. But I mean, it's so nice. I had to get it. I love the art. Honestly, any Kaya Folio art I love. So I had to pick it up, and I'm deciding whether I want to try to upgrade it and like maybe add $50 and this, and then try to get an 8.5 or a 9 or something. But for now, it's not that big of a deal. We'll see how I feel, when the set's all done, and if this is the last card to make it an 8.5 set and above, then we'll see. But for now, that's the last card I have. Tomorrow we'll get into, let's say, my ungraded Arabian Nights stuff. And we'll take a look at that stuff. And then the next day, we'll either do my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, my PSA Yu-Gi-Oh cards, or we'll move on to Antiquities or Unlimited or Legends. I even have some stuff from Revised that's just in really nice shape, and and I want to document and stuff, so we'll get to that. I have Portal 3 Kingdoms, so I got a couple videos coming, but anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.